She loves to sing, she loves to dance, she loves to entertain. So, her actual favorite holiday was Christmas. So, her grandmother decided to take her away for Christmas. She was okay with that because on top of loving her mother, she loved her grandmother. So, as she went and they came back, she was so excited to come back to see her mother. She wanted her mom to see her bracelet. So they came into the room and she went running to her mom. Mommy, look at my bracelet. But something was wrong. Mommy wasn't waking up. So Grandma went to Mom and said, I think your mom's dead, Lulu. And she looked and she said, I don't understand. What do you mean my mom's dead? She said, your mom is not coming back ever again. And that little girl is me. At 5 years old, I lost my mother. I lost my mother to AIDS from a blood transfusion. I'm actually going to read you a poem that I wrote from my book. The title of the poem is called I Remember. I remember not liking what I saw in the mirror. I remember calling myself ugly. I remember blaming myself for my parents' death. I remember thinking my self-worth wasn't getting an A. I remember wearing coats in the summertime because I didn't like being skinny. Still don't. I remember starving myself for getting a B. I remember not being around other people's parents because, hey, I didn't have my own. I remember the knife that I used to slit my wrist. I remember when you said, come here, my child, cast all your cares on me, and I will give you rest. I remember when you put your loving arms around me and said, I love you, and I will not leave you nor forsake you. I remember when you set me free. Now, statistics. Did you know that there are 38,000 people in the United States that die by suicide? A person dies by suicide every 14 minutes in the United States. And that suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among children aged 5 to 14 years old. Personally, I believe in the urban community, suicide, or rather mental illness, is not something that's addressed enough. We keep it on the hush, we keep it silent. It's something in another community, not here. I believe in both the faith-based and the nonprofit that is something that needs to be addressed because it's happening around the corner. I actually used to live at 131st Street in Lenox, and I was 5, and I was dealing with depression. But I had no one to talk to, no one to recognize my problems. As I said before, my name is Tamara. I'm 31 years old. I have my bachelor's degree from Binghamton University and my master's from New York University. But no one knew during those times that I was getting my degrees the pain that I was suffering. I began cutting myself at 5 years old. In junior high school, things got even worse. I felt alone. I felt isolated. I felt I wasn't good enough, and I felt guilty. I felt, hey, maybe if I wasn't born, my parents would still be alive. In high school, things got even worse. I developed something called low self-esteem. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. Every day, I called myself ugly and skinny. So imagine, most kids wake up, they're fixing their hair, they're trying to be their best. I was saying, Tamara, you just need to die. You don't need to be here today. And in high school, I overdosed. One night, I was tired. I wanted to be done with life. So I went in my grandmother's medicine cabinet, and I took all the pills that I could possibly take. I woke up in the hospital, and I was the angriest person, and the doctors and nurses couldn't understand. You're alive. But I was thinking, why am I alive? God, you took my parents away. I have nothing. Why don't you just let me die? During that time, my self-image plummeted, but yet I was using external circumstances to determine who I was. If I got an A, it meant I was a good person. If I got a B, I was a good person. A C, D, F, forget about it. I was doing self-punishment to myself. But at the same time, I had no one to talk to, and no one was there. In college, I was still going through depression, still going through suicide, nobody to talk to. I decided I was going to reach out to a family member, and that family member told me, you need to be in a psycho ward. Now, who wants to hear they want to go to the psycho ward? Nobody. So I shut down again. And I said, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. It's my issue. I'll deal with it. So in college, I'm still going through suicide, but yet I'm still on the dean's list. Externally, things look good on the outside. But on the inside, I was dying, and I needed help. So my last and final attempt was when I was actually coming from the movies with my now husband. He sent me to my dorm, and as I was going upstairs on the 13th floor, I looked out the window, and depression took over. And it said, and I heard a voice that said, it would seem much better if you would just jump. And I went to the window, and I looked down. I said, if I jump, it don't look that far down. And then I looked again, and it said, nobody loves you, so just jump. So as I decided to get on the ledge, and I was about to take my leap, I heard a voice say, stop. Now, if you're about to do something and you hear something that says stop, you look around, there's nobody with you, you stop. I got on my knees, and I put my hands up and I said, God, I can't take this anymore. You got to release me from this. And the only description that I can give you about it is, you know when it rains, and then you can actually see the sun coming, the clouds going past, and you see the sun. That's the only feeling that I can tell you that I had that night. It was just a burden that I felt that was released from me that night. Now, did I still have suicidal tendencies? Yes, because it's not something you can get over overnight. But the fact that I didn't want to go in that direction is what changed it. And my encouragement to you is that we can think a lot of negative things, but what will determine that is if we go in that direction. You don't have to go in that direction. And I did not get cured of suicide through pills either, because that would have been in itself another problem. I probably would have overdosed on those pills. So to me, it's about your mind frame. We are strong-minded people. And if you think positive, it's very true. You think positive, you go positive. You think negative, you will go negative. Also, I get very, very discouraged when I see young people these days and they're using Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and all these other people as your role models. These are not your role models. You have a brain. Use that brain. You're supposed to be our next generation coming up with the next invention. You're supposed to be empowering and strengthening someone else. So don't think, and same thing, your queens and your princesses and your kings and your little princesses. Your little princes. So don't think that just because you see people playing basketball all the time, you see people being half naked on TV, that's where you're supposed to go. No, you have a brain and stay in school and use what God gave you to be a better creature in this world. We're all created for a purpose. And the title of this rap session is called, Don't Give Up, and Do You Know How Special You Are? I did not know how special I was until I stepped on that ledge. And I heard someone say, stop. Because all through life, no one wanted to hear from me. So all my problems, I bottled them inside. So if you're in this room and you ever felt depressed, don't let that depression turn into suicide. Talk to someone. Someone will have to listen and encourage you. Don't stay silent about your issues and don't stay silent about your problems. Don't think that, oh, I just a little sad. No, talk about it, because that sadness can turn into depression. Depression can turn into suicide, and that's not what you want to do. That's pretty much all that I have to say. I hope that I encourage someone in here to go forward in life, not go backwards, and that the environment that you grew up in is not what's going to determine who you are. I grew up on 131st Street. And just because you grew up in the projects does not mean that you cannot excel and be somebody different. You have your own uniqueness inside. So I expect each and every one of you to use what God put inside of you and go out in the world and spread that love, regardless of where you came from. Okay?
Can you tell us about
The book is called Healing from Within, and in it I talk about my testimony, and I'm also a poet, so my poetry is in here as well. The book is $15 if you're interested. I'll be selling them over in the corner. Are there any questions for me? Yes.
Was that the first day that you found God, or was that God told you all the time?
I knew who God was, but I was so angry with him, I couldn't miss him. I said, you took my parents away from me. And then when I get 18, my grandmother dies, so now I have nobody. I'm homeless. I didn't want to listen to God.
So, when you first decided that you wanted to cut yourself, did you experience any out-of-body experience?
No. It was just out of despair and out of hurt. I just wanted to get rid of myself. I felt...
What about pain?
I'm sorry?
What about pain? You cut yourself, what about pain?
I didn't think about the pain.
Wow.
Yeah. It was actually, it may sound sick, pleasurable, because it was like, that's the only thing I grew up with, pain. So I'll just continue on this path of pain.
When you was in school and you said that because of this despair, you was a better person. You know, I mean, what I see is that because of the situation that you was allowed to go through by God, it made you smarter. It made you more intelligent in school. Most kids that have so much pleasure, they just drop out of school. You know, after a while, before ninth grade, they just leave school. But you continue in school and went to college. It was because of your husband.
No. It was actually, I guess, self-motivation, but the wrong way. When I was in high school, I only wanted A's and B's because it would determine whether or not I was a good person. Not because I really, in my heart, wanted to excel. Only because I used that to characterize my own self because I didn't have an identity of my own. Thank you.
Okay, during this experience of the suicide and everything, you were married. That happened also during your marriage.
Yes, I was suicidal also.
You didn't feel the love from your husband was sufficient enough to help you through the depression, or you still?
Honestly, it did help. It did help, yes. But as I was saying before, it's not something you can kind of wipe in and wipe. Everybody gets sad, everybody gets depressed, but it's how far you go with it determines. Now, instead of leaning into it, I read my Bible. I get a scripture. I call a friend. I tell a joke instead of going back into that direction. And we can all do that. Any more questions? Yes.
If you was married, why you didn't talk to your woman?
He said if
You was married, why you didn't talk to your woman?
I did. But sometimes not everybody knows how to necessarily deal with your situation. And on my husband, he wasn't used to having someone in his life that was suicidal. So it was hard for him to cope, and it was actually bringing him pain. Because to love someone that wants to kill themselves is not an easy thing to deal with.
You turned your motivation for education into a positive, even though you used it at first as a negative to determine your self-worth. It seemed to me as if you did turn it into a positive because you did achieve, and you are who you are today in part because of it. So what would you say to young people who are growing up now and who may want to view education as something that could uplift them, not just economically and things like that, but in terms of showing them what perseverance and hard work can do, because you have to be able to persevere through what you were going through. So you had that in you. Right. So I don't know exactly how to frame it, but to say to a young person who can't maybe yet see it, to say, this, if you persevere, if you work hard, those things aren't just corny words that only good people say, or, that it does work. It takes time, but you have to be able to see inside your mind, some end point that's positive, and that while you're going through the struggling, the motivator is that end point that you keep in your mind's eye. You know what I mean?
One actual person that motivated me was my grandmother. She was actually a cotton picker. She was born in 1922, and she picked cotton. And it sat in my heart when I saw she could only sign her name with an X. And I said, for you, Grandma, I have to do better. So my encouragement is, you may be living with your mom, your dad, aunt, or always strive to be better than the next person. And if you keep that helps you motivate you to keep going. And then you can influence someone else to keep going and do better than you did.
This, what you're doing now, I can see it's a way of you working your way through. Also, it's also strengthening you, because I have a family member whose family, she was going through depression, but the family that lives in the household, they are united. So she's motivating herself by sending out cards to people who are like her or who you need. This is how she's
Coping.
So I can see you doing this.
Coping, yes. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay. It's all right. It is all right. It's all right. Yes.
I just want to say that one of the messages that comes through loud and clear, see, sometimes people don't realize what really is inside of them. And there were seeds that were planted inside of you, very strong seeds, that kept you going in spite of. And along the way, I bet you if you look back, there were pockets of joy. We don't recognize it. Those are the things that keep you going. And I'm just a believer that bad times don't last always. So if we keep going long enough, we will see our way through to the end. And if there's any message that I think young people should get, that's what you've been to them an example. If you keep going and you keep pushing, you keep persevering, you will push through. And it'll be all right in the end.
I commend Sister Tamara. And the reason we wanted her to come is she has such a powerful story. She has such a powerful story, and we want to encourage everyone, young as well as seasoned. And the reality is that people are hurting. And sometimes we do not see it or we don't want to accept it. So our thing is, you can get over that. You'll get through this. Don't worry about that. Please, you're strong. But if you're going through anything, I encourage you to see an adult, someone positive, a teacher, someone that you trust, your principal, a friend, someone who could help you through your situation. read positive books, listen to positive music, you know, be around positive people, get rid of the haters.
Yes,
Get rid of the haters.
yes.
Because everybody you around is not for your best interest. And you know what, parents, any grandparents, any guardians who are here, watch your children. See? Talk to them. Go back to the days of sitting down at the table. Spend some quality time. Pick up the phone. How are you doing? You know, how was school today? Did you enjoy yourself? What did you do in school? How did you, how was the test? You know, how's your friends? How they doing? How's their parents? Talk. Talk. We are not talking anymore. We are texting. And that's all right. You know, sometimes Facebook tweet, you know, but nobody's talking face to face. And Sister Tamara, if she could get through it, she's a testimony that we could get through it. You know, I commend her. I really do. Wait, that's our principal.
Just kind of expound upon the writing, how you got into the writing, and why and when, and just talk a little bit about your writing.
With the book Healing from Within, it actually took me some time to write the book, I'm going to be honest, because suicide is not something that everybody wants to hear about, and it's something that's shunned in our communities. So actually being in church inspired me to go ahead and go take it and write the book. I was writing poetry for a long time. I was writing poetry to express my hurt, my anger, how I felt. So the poetry is actually a reflection of where I was and a reflection of where I am today. And also, I wanted to add, I'm not so distant that I also have my cards available and I'm open. If you ever need a listening ear, if you don't have mom and dad and whoever, and also I can't be biased because I don't know you. So if you ever want to reach out through email, my phone number is also on the cards. I'm here for a listening ear. And if you want advice, I can do that as well. Are there any more questions?
Can I ask a question of the young people? Have you ever felt sad?
Yes. A lot of times. Yes.
Why? What makes you sad? I feel like Oprah. Wait a minute.
By my family, because I got early here to the United States. I didn't know a lot of English, so I got a lot of trouble with the writing. You know that when I talk to my friends, they laugh at me sometimes.
It's all right. Look at you now. Look at you now. Look at him. Look at him now. Let's give him a hand. We have such powerful children. We have to encourage him. We have to encourage him. Anybody else? Have you ever felt sad? How did you deal with it? This is a rap session, just for a few minutes. Let's spend some time. How did you deal with it? Do you all have good friends? Huh? Yes or no? Do you like yourself? Yes. You sure? Yes. Let me see. You love yourself. Let me say that again. Say it again. Say it again. I say it again. Oh, okay. Let's point. Go like this. Repeat after me. I love myself. All right? All right? Let's give a shout out. A hand clap. Wow. Sister Tamara has a book, Healing from Within. Now, you know we have some treats tonight. Now, we planned a little program, and we don't want to make it long because we want you to come back the next time and tell somebody. Now, we gave out Sister Diamond. Sister Diamond, you want to share anything before I move on? Okay. You all right? All my children all right? Yeah. I can't hear you. Yeah. That's That's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. I like feedback. Okay. Sister Diamond was handing out little the grab bag. Who have the number 15? Ooh, Sister Tyshell, come here. We have a gift for you. One of her books. Complimentary for Sister Tamara. Oh, let me give my shout out. I always gotta praise moms. Moms in the house, Sister Veronica Morris, amen. Ma, can you get one of the gray bags with a book inside? Well, you know. All right. Who have 42? Okay. 23. Woo! Okay, come on. Let's give her a book. Read this. Okay. Let's see. Number 12. Now, let me see. I have two McDonald's gift certificates. $5 each. That's enough to get you a little sandwich or something. Get it on sale now. Get it on sale. Don't go asking for steak. $5. Okay. Let's see who's gonna get this. Let's see. 51. Oh, we didn't get that? Okay. All right. Somebody didn't get it. Okay. Let's go back. Number 1. Keep it. All right. Number 1. Look at that. Take a picture of yourself. All right, one more. Who's gonna get it? Let me see. I'm gonna go with 10. 10. Number 10. No? Number 10? Not in? Maybe it's just a number. All right, somehow. Okay. I'm gonna go again. Let's see. Number 3. All right. Now, you know, it's nice to give. When you give, you'll be blessed. You know. So, Principal Stinson, come. Sister Shoefeld, come. I'm saying sister. I'm sorry. I'm in church folks. Miss Shoefeld. You can take them out the church, but you can't take it. But first, on behalf of St. James, St. Philip AME Church, and I'm just being a Sister Tamara myself, right? First, I want to say thank you, and you're beautiful. And thank you all who's here, the powerful testimony of Sister Tamara. Now, I like to bless people, right? So I'm buying their books. All right, so we're gonna give, our principal and Miss Shoefeld, right, a book. So could you prepare those, Mom? And that's on me. All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. all right. She, look at this. The librarian said her copy would go in the library. This is a true librarian. Any other questions? We're gonna bring it to you. We're gonna bring it here. And let's introduce our principal, Miss Stinson. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Okay, I want to say thank you. We have quite a few people from our staff. Please stand up, and our parents stand up. I want to see that we are represented here, and our students. Yes. So as part of our community, that's right, parents in the back. That's right. Thank you so much. Part of our Community Learning Center initiative is to reach out into the community and sponsor events just like this. We met your pastor through our clergy breakfast that we sponsored about 2 months ago. We are forming what we call a faith-based consortium. And when she said that she has adopted this school, she has adopted this school, and we're so grateful. We know that Ms. Johnson, she's gone to some of your affairs. Ms. Johnson. And she's very happy. And I'm a believer that there's a lot of power in the church. And if you want to get anything done, you go to people who are in the church. Because they know how to get things done. And that's why we now have a faith-based consortium. So I want to thank you, Pastor, for coming tonight. We're very happy to sponsor this event. And you're right, at one time, this auditorium will be full. So we thank you.
Chips and drinks for you. Now, we also have some suicide hotline brochures. I'm not gonna stand here and give it out, make it a public. We're just gonna put it on the side, take one, read if you need it. If you need help, please see someone, because you have a purpose here on earth. Sister Tamara, we continue this. I know that you are destined for a time to share your story. I won't be surprised if I see you on TV one day, going traveling and stuff, because you're giving back. And it's a reason you had to go through what you had to go through. We don't want it to go that way, but sometimes things have to happen in life. We don't know the reason, but I know suicide is real.
Think Joseph.
About a month ago, it's a month ago, one of our family members on my husband's side, his cousin in Colorado, committed suicide at age 28. Wow. 28 in Colorado. This was about a month ago. We thought everything was fine. He had 2 kids. 2 kids, married. And he left home and said to his son, "You won't see daddy no more." Now, we didn't know what that meant. Stopped on the highway and jumped. Called his moms before it happened and said, "I love you. You won't see me." She was like, what are you talking about? And that was it. Hung up the phone. That was it. He had a tracking device on his cell phone. But by the time they got there, it was too late. So, I take life seriously. And I want you to take life seriously. And you are powerful. So, if there's anything we could do, and we're going to close out. If there's anybody who needs a hug, or, I know we're in the school, or you need someone to talk to, we are here for a little bit. Quietly, we can help you and say, we could do this. Because if you need to go to someone to see someone, a specialist, I believe in doctors. I do. And so we thank you tonight. Come back, and be other things for you in the future. You are our school. I thank the James Rivers Choir I think the members of St. James St. Philip AME Church, please stand. All members of St. James St. Philip AME Church, please stand. My sister, Principal Stinson, is mental health, and she's good, mental health, and she passed her exam today. Oh, come share your story. She was taking. Let me tell her. I'm so excited. I'm excited. Wait, tell them. No. This share the story. She took a major test today.
I took the state national clinical exam for my clinical license in therapy, psychotherapy.
She passed! I feel like crying. That's my younger sister, but I treat her like she's my baby. So, let's stand. Let's give a shout